Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What it do? How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're feeling very, very good. And, I am butt naked. I'm butt naked right now. It is way too hot. And this show is explicit. It is. It is. That's just the way it is. That is what it is, you know.
The show is explicit. If you are under the age of 18, please get the fuck on out of here.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. This message is brought to you by Kabuna. Kabuna, Kabuna, Kabuna. Kabuna, Kabuna, Kabuna.
Kabuna, Kabuna, Kabuna. I know, ain't that kinky? That's kinky. I don't know why. I love saying that word, kinky. I was in a group one time, a spiritual group. We started coming up with nicknames for each other and all that. And I got the nickname Super Kinky. Which is great. I love that, you know. I do. And, you know, that's neither here nor there, but I want to give a shout out to some awesome people. First and foremost, shout out to my dad, because he's awesome. He would never listen to this. So, just invisible shout out on his end. Well, in audio shout out, yeah. And, yeah, but he's an awesome guy. Probably my best friend, which is a cool thing to say because, like, it wasn't always like that between me and him, you know. I used to really, really despise him, but I realized that what it was I blamed him internally, blamed him for stuff from, well, basically for my mom, but that's neither here nor there. In fact, I don't know where it is, because, I mean, she's a missing person still, so, I mean, I can laugh at it now. It's fucked up, and it is sad as fuck, but you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at life. Just as God has a sense of humor, and just as laughter and comedy heals, you gotta laugh. It's that irony, you know, that silver lining of every cloud that you gotta walk the thin fine line, right? That line you gotta walk, that's the silver lining on a cloud. There you go. And shout out to Matt, my CEO of Kapuhuna, and it's a good man. You know, I put a lot of faith in him, specifically because to me, it was a very, very obvious thing. And, you know, see, the thing is that when it comes to anything holy in your life, anything that's brought to you into your life, that's just like, you know, it's, you know, people like to think of things as tests or signs, right? Between a sign or a test, right? And that's the thing is that you could think of a thing either way, and, like, you know, I mean, anything could be considered as either or, depending on your outlook on it. So therefore, I don't like to look at it as either, right? Because it all depends on you. But when it comes to anything that's specifically put into your life, well, generally, it's going to be a thing that's specifically obvious, right? but nobody looks at it. That's how obvious it is. You know, just like, what did they say about the, something about lipos? I don't know. Anyways, point is that, you know, I could, you know, like, not many people were having faith in the dude. And I was like, I knew that feeling, you know, and I knew that actually an ironic sense of it is that when I was there myself, I was like freaking the one dude that people should have listened to and nobody did. And what happened around every turn of the corners, I was right on each thing every time. So I was like, oh, okay, then I should trust this guy. And you know what? He's never let me down compared to a lot. I mean, a lot. Hundreds of people. But, you know, I mean, not to blame anybody, because, you know, I mean, it goes both ways. Like, I had my stuff too, and like, there's always a hypocrisy when it comes to blame. So, of course, you know, on my end too, like, I did things wrong. But in a spiritual way, I want to say that there is no wrong way. There is no wrong, because it's all kind of somewhat wrong in a sense, you know, like, we're all missing the point. We're all basing our ideologies off of illusion, because this is all inherently illusion, right? So, you know, as to sin comes from what, Sanskrit, right? Meaning to miss the mark. I think that the best part would be to aim. And when you find somebody that aims, that's a rarity these days. So notice it and respect it and honor it. Much love to Matt. He's out there. He's doing a social experiment, like recording documentary thing. It's a top secret thing that it's his project, and I don't want to totally put it, you know, let it out there. But if you know who I'm talking about, you know the guy, ask him. It's pretty cool and it's very interesting, and we're going to be working together on it, and I'm very excited. Much love to Annie Tribe. I hope all things are going well. We have a well, you know, when it comes to business, there's always a lot of stuff going on, and I probably shouldn't spend this whole episode talking about business, because it might just, you know, you don't give out too much energy when it comes to your projects, you know, especially when talking about it. You talk to, you know, about something too much, and you're like, well, you're just talking about it. I believe in taking action, you know. Yeah, sure, sometimes that action is talking, but in any sense, let's move on. Much love to April, and oh shoot, now I feel rude. What's her page? Astro Dreaming, right? Astro Dreaming is their Facebook page. Very cool page. She works very hard. Well, no, she doesn't work hard. I know she does it very fluently, because she'll be like writing something, and then like 15 minutes later, she's written this huge article that takes me like half an hour to read. I'm kidding. Not half an hour. I read very fast, actually. But no, I'm always surprised. She's an amazing writer. Then let's see. Much love to my brother. I haven't seen him in a few days, actually. I don't know where he is. I think he's out with his lady friend or whatnot. Much love to him. Shout out to Hannah. You were awesome. And my God, that was a very, very, very cool film thing you did. I didn't see the whole clip YouTube thing, but like, that was cool. That looked very professional. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Speaking of which, actually, there's a thing. I'm gonna have to talk about it next episode, because I don't have the coupon code thingy to give you guys, but there's a thing where you can go to the site and you can totally hire actors for free. like, because of the coupon thingy. I'll have to go get it for you guys, but I'm totally gonna do it too. I'm so gonna do it, and I'm gonna hire some actors for free, and yeah, and we'll see where that goes. That it looks very cool. A shout out to Ryan Jordan, and my apologies. He was a business partner of mine somewhat. I mean, well, I don't know, the guy always flaked on me, but, I still appreciated the guy, because I seen him go through a lot of the things that I went through the year before, and so it makes it hard not to empathize, right, But no, he swarmed in ways that I had totally failed, though. I was really proud of him for that. But no, what happened? Somebody, I will not name any names, but my God, I could, told me a little lie. And the little lie was accusing of some others of things that they did not do. But I believed her because I had no reason not to. I barely knew her. But I guess that's a good reason not to, right? Libra. See everybody through rose-colored lens. Trust. Ain't that some? Well, I think faith and trust should be naturally given foremost before anything. I think it should. Even if it hurts you. Even if you get hurt. Now, okay, sure, if you're already down in the dumps and you're suicidal, don't fucking be like that. No. But if you're strong and you're pretty comfortable, then yeah, I think faith and belief in other people should be foremost. I mean, it's a thing. It's manifestation, right? And if anything, I like to believe that as you see God in other people, as you choose to see that I don't want to say invokes, but it somewhat allows them to encompass that more. And as you see darkness and evil in other people, well, manifestation, right? And everything turns to, be ironic in a sense. And now they might not even be doing evil things or at all, and it could just look like it. But it's going to look like it to you. That's the nature of it, right? And the whole thing about cognitive dissonance is it's rooted in illusion. Cognitive dissonance, what does that mean? That means that you hear something and you're like, oh no, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to hear it. No, and you turn away because your mind is battling with itself to hold on to its idea of reality. It's very much ego. It has everything to do with ego. And it's pretty much what I've witnessed a lot of light workers have towards me, which is so horribly ironic because I don't know. I don't consider them really light workers. They just call themselves that. There's always that irony. You look at history. The people that supposedly follow Christ's ways. Well, they did a lot of evil, even these days. A lot of evil. And then you look at, as one of my mentors, I have 3 mentors. I should say I have 3 mentors because they still teach me. And it's always good to have heroes, mentors, teachers, coaches. I used to not agree with the coaches part, but yes, it's true. It's always good to have people to look up to. But yes, I have 3. One of them actually is a dark witch. She's a head of a grand coven, actually. And, well, in the spirit of being all accepting and not afraid and not ignorant or ignoring of aspects, Kapuhuna, from the start, was all about accepting all beliefs. So by default, I would be a hypocrite if I did not totally respect and honor. And you know what? In that, I was very lucky I did. in all aspects. Because each of my mentors happened to be very, very wise, strong, patient, and important people. I had no idea, of course. I met I met everybody online. I didn't know. I thought they were just people, right? I didn't know what the word Swami meant. I thought it was dude's first name. I just called him. I didn't know. I didn't know that it was a title or anything. And that's another one of my mentors. Cool guy. And let's see, who should I give a shout out to? Let's give a shout out to Bree. Bree, yes. Bree. Founder of the Edgar Casey group on Facebook. The cool one, I want to say, because there is a different Edgar Casey group called Edgar Casey in this group, and it's got a lot more people, but they're more, they're not all open-minded, I think that the thing about wisdom is wisdom takes experience. That means it takes empathy, so it comes with it. It's hand in hand, experience and empathy, because you empathize as you have an experience, and you as you have but both ways, it's hand in hand, Well, shout out to Baby. She founded the Edgar Casey group. She's a very cool person. Much respect to her. And I feel kind of guilty from way long ago. I had no idea that she was on my friends list, and I guess I guess I never really said hi or nothing. I didn't even know who she was. That's rude. I think that's so rude. I think that, maybe it's just me, but whenever I get a friend request, I talk to them, and I say straight off the bat, I'm like, okay, well, I don't collect friends, quote unquote, and put them on a shelf somewhere, as some kind of oh, maybe you can watch me kind of thing, like spam thing. That's like motherfucking when you're a kid and you invite all your friends over to watch you play video games. What the fuck is that? If anything, at least, provide the fucking video game to watch. I don't fucking know, but, say something. Shit. People are adding each other to what? Silent stock? That's some fucking shit there. I think everybody should just delete everybody they don't even talk to. Or, go out and say hi, and if they fucking ignore your ass, and delete them. I do. I need to be more adamant about that, too. And doing that. Because it's so fake. It's so bullshit. And it's usury. It's usury of each other. And it's not something that I think that we should promote as acceptable. Well, I wanted to. It's about halfway through, so I'm going to show you. There's a cool dude. Synchronicity led me to meet. Basically, crazy story. A year ago, maybe a little over 2 years ago, I met a cool Australian girl online. I ended up going over to Australia, and we spent a lot of good time together. And anyways, I convinced her to go through with a course in sound healing from Sheila Kennedy. She started Sounds from Source, which is a sound healing therapy, and you check it out, Sounds from Source. And anyways, after knowing her for a long time, and talking to her, not a long time, mind you, but talking to her a lot, she found out I was in San Jose months later, and then she's like, oh, my son lives there. And She meant that in a, I don't know. I don't know. But basically, her son, maybe, I don't know how they met, really. I gotta ask, actually. But it's so random, because San Jose, Australia, like, hella far. But anyways, cool guy. And I've been chopping it up with him. And actually, yesterday, I asked him out of nowhere. That's how fucking humble this dude is. I've been showing him my raps. And he hasn't even mentioned or said or brought up that he rapped, but I asked him yesterday, I was like, I know you rap, because you invited me to that poetry jam thing. And he just gave me like a LOL or something, I don't remember, but then he showed me, this guy got some slap. This guy, he got bars for days. Fire. Check this beat out. I made a video to it too, you can see it on my Facebook. If you don't know me, then that's Sean Thomas Villafana. That's spiritual counselor Sean Thomas Villafana minister. I think I have my title as MSc or minister. I don't know, one of those. Probably spiritual counselor. I think it's all the same shit. I don't know. Legally, my title is spiritual counselor, but I could put MSc. In any case, listen to this beat. It is dope. Go check out the video. Yeah.
Punching in, Stone Gate, baby. Boop, boop, boop. Same old shit. Check it. I might be running low on common sense, blowing on my oxygen, knowing that I was always meant to make it hard for y'all to win. Sent to bring the lunatic to you and all you hooligans. It ain't never been no harm in going harder than my duplicates. Smart enough to park a bus and fill it up with women. When you saw me in my truck without my L's, asking who is this? Driving about to do a flip, holding on like if I drop the ball, and if I lose my grip, then bet I'm going in for all the niggas I be fooling with. How do I forget about the haters doing 40 much? I don't like your flavor like a Salem or a Camel Crush. Neighborhood is active out here acting up. I'm trying to turn this nickel into a stack of bucks. Laughing at all you quacking ducks. Always had a knack for having the baddest bitches back it up. Now I'm finna hurl from all this cracking up. That naughty yakko wasn't passing up. That's because I really don't relax enough. And this is how you tend to act. If ever you have had it rough, getting you to grasp it all is hard to teach when you a dust. For once I want to break from all the huff and puff. Roll a swish it over brush. Told you now I'm owning up to everything you said I was. If I could get a handle on my life, I could open doors. Then I won't be nothing nice. Living room and kitchen flow. Get it y'all as if I owe everything and none at all. Working on some reefer smoke. Learning from my keeping on. And after all that speaking on me, I don't want to lead you on. Ain't trying to leave you with the wrong idea about where I'm going. It's all Jesus, I understand. You done had it up to here with all my gas. And if I could only make it rapping so I can say I made it happen. Been an underdog forever, now I really do have it down pat. I haven't shown you any signs to be falling back. Sorry I ain't catch your call. Leave your name and number at the beat so I can call you back. Fall or fail, never know. I've been on my lumberjack. Overworking ain't a flaw. Look at how you made me act. Beating like an ape for hog. How you all became a snack. How it all became a rap. I left for really bring it back to where we all in habitat. San Jose is on the map. Hammer time forever black. Swagger like the cabbage patch. Color ain't a factor, but statistics say that we only brought to keep the prisons overpacked. They don't want to make it, so we never turn to pulling jacks. Selling dope in city traps. Trying to bring the bullet back. I ain't want to do it, but to ever lack again for me is a foolish act. Not what I was shooting at back when I was schooling, trying to fit in with the cooler cats. I ain't mixed, so I would never be where they would cool it at. The irony is later on, that's where they be losing at. And they can never make it at this altitude I'm cruising at. It's only right for me to make an interest on them. Who is that? Flies any bird playing Alabat. High as I could get, spoke another for my cataracts. This is for my brother, my mother, and my daddy back when I was just a youngster. It was hard for us when we were at the life I chose not to leave alone. Led to my love for this microphone. I'm speaking on the baggage I bring along. I'm praying for the woes that keep me strong. The same ones that got me pouring out my soul. The course of my life led me to this song. And my choices y'all never really did condone. And I tried knowing I can never right my wrongs. My wrongs. Stole my babies. Love y'all.
Damn, wasn't that some that every time I listen to that, and I listened to it like 20 times last night when I was making the video for him, that song gives me goosebumps. That the lyrics I mean, he was trying to say, what did he say? He was like saying, oh, it's all old school. I was like, I think you're ahead of your time. I really do. I think he's ahead of his time. I think a lot of us are, really, in a sense. I know, yeah, the time thing. Time is not linear. Yada, yada. Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, you listen to even Abraham Hicks. She says the same thing. She kind of just brushes the thing off like, yeah, whatever, because it is kind of linear when in the spirit form and when the spirit, sees through us in our perspective. Yeah, so it is and it isn't. We like to think things. I argue with my dad. Well, not argue, but I tell my dad this a lot. Is that everybody's, not everybody, but a good amount say that this is a dream and this is not real. And I like to go and say that, well, since I believe that the dream realm is real, and real is subjective, and definition of anything in itself is subjective. And, of course, yeah, sure, socially accepted, agreed upon, whatnot, yeah, sure, whatever, The fuck word is an acronym for fornication under consent of king, motherfuckers. Who knew that, right? Rap is an acronym for rhythm and poetry. Yeah, how about that, huh? People forget the history, and then they forget the actual meaning, and then the monkey ladder experiment effect takes into place, and everybody forgets the real actual reason behind anything, and they just agree and don't question. People nowadays, they like to think like, oh, debate is bad, and to argue is evil. But no. You're, a person's immature stance on it, and while they're debating or while they're having a logical communication with another, that's dependent, right? You can either talk about something maturely, debate it maturely, or you can have and cling on to immature emotions, That's a thing, because technically we can't say immature, because a person could stay with their belief about a thing, meaning a emotion, for their whole lives. Many do. It's only through really providence that we overcome our own meanings, that we think a thing means, and we see the deeper truth. The truth is within, and it does take feeling. That's where wisdom comes from. And that's why I like to say there is no wrong. A lot of people have said it similar. I think Aleister Crowley said something like that. Actually, yeah, he said that no form of magic, psychic, or craft or something like that can know a person's true path except for their holy guardian angel. Something like that. He says something like that. Loosely quoted. So, and I believe Jesus said something along those lines too in the Gospel of Thomas. Mind you, it's not canonical, or however you pronounce that. But the Gospel of Thomas, I really like that one. Jesus was questioned a lot in it, and here's an example. One of the things is that he was asked, what should we eat? What kind of practices should we practice, And he said, do not do what you hate to do, and And something else. He said also, he said, it's not what you put in your mouth, because they asked him about if they should eat meat or not. And he said, it's not what you put in your mouth, it's what comes out of your mouth that defines whether or not you will yada yada, enter the kingdom of God or something. I can't remember. And it makes sense too. It does. Because as you would have a higher awareness upon death, as you would awaken to see, well, it would be a higher dimensional platform, right? Things like empathy would make a lot more sense there. So, as you would have harmed another in this life, as you're going back and you witness your life flash before your eyes, well, you would see through the perspective of the universe, no? Right? You would see at least a higher perspective. And in that perspective, you would feel and empathize with everything that you did before. Now, after that's done, let me ask you, you go through all that you've done, caused in your life, pain to others, ignorance of others that were in pain, or times where you were just egotistically wrong and judgmental on others or blameful on others. But this time you would be empathizing with them from the spirit level, seeing how you were wrong. Well, would you blame yourself? Naturally, of course. These emotions are not just a human thing, Sure, I could believe that maybe some beings out there don't have all our emotions, but I would like to believe that they follow with us as a soul wisdom. And shame, that's kind of elemental. And shame would be there, and we would not feel worthy of oneness. We would not feel worthy of divinity, and we would choose to come back. Choose on our own. I don't believe God judges. I believe that's inherently impossible, actually, for God to be judgmental, because if any being were to be judgmental unto you, yet I not, well, that would mean that being would be obtuse. That being would immediately be veiled in their empathy, because it takes empathy to understand anything. Therefore, that being would have a lesser understanding than I would if I were to empathize with you. You hear me? So God, of course, is love. All acceptance, overall, unconditional. We forget that a lot because we like to blame God for things instead of taking responsibility. I don't just mean responsibility for ourselves and our actions, but a responsibility for each other. Any parent understands this. It's the thing about maturity. Is that the more mature you get, the more responsibility you take. If you look at anybody, look at what they're paying attention to through their ages. The elderly, they pay attention to the bigger picture. Politics, society. I would like to believe that as this is the age of Aquarius, that we are approaching that as a overall regular consciousness, really. We're approaching that understanding of awareness from within ourselves. Of course, there's the irony. I guess there's got to be that opposite in order for us to see. So I guess I should appreciate and let it just be. That the irony being that everybody's focusing on themselves selfishly, teaching each other to ignore all the suffering from others, let go of the negative of others, other people, instead of just see through it that they're hurting and care and love and practice unconditional love, because that's the truth within us all, and it's ironic that they loved, that's why I say the word authenticity so much. It's funny because the thing about authenticity is that once they get the hint, if there's a vague hint in their subconscious, then the word itself gives them a kind of slight cringe. I know because I had that cringe, and I was there, and I was that, and it's a good word. I like that word, authenticity, because as we strive, well, then we aim, and as we aim, we ensure two things. We ensure that we'll get there if we keep aiming. Eventually, it's just how it is. And B, it ensures that we will feel shame and humble ourselves when we're wrong and we discover that we're wrong. And shame is a very good thing in that when we humble ourselves, only when we humble ourselves, do we see where we're wrong, because it's always us blocking us from seeing anything, right? It's always the ego blocking us from understanding a thing, right? We're always to blame, right? So the cognitive dissonance is healed through those negative emotions being felt. Unfortunately, the huge mass of society, I don't know, I swear, I think maybe it's some kind of fucking social experiment that maybe Facebook is doing. I don't know. It's in their terms of agreement for them to be able to do social experimentation on us. If you didn't know, look it up. It's trippy as fuck, but it's true. We agree to it every time we make our Facebook accounts. So yeah, legally they could be doing that. Just saying. I'm not saying they are, and I'm not, accusing, or, it could be anything. But technically, it could be some sort of organization or entity or something swaying people to ironically go towards self-love. That, totally was prophesized by Edgar Casey, as he explained what the Antichrist consciousness is. And that's a scary thing, too. Antichrist consciousness. Right? As he explained it, it would show up even in the lives of men. Right? Of course. Naturally. I mean, since Jesus Christ's time, humanity kind of was the Antichrist. I mean, the people killed him. The hive mind, sheep-like, reactive egos of the cognitive dissonance, fearful, blameful, immature mentality, as opposed to those of us that would be full of maturity, be strong enough to take responsibility for things ourselves, even if we weren't wrong, to take the hits, to give love back instead of fearful blame, instead of immature dramas, instead of storytelling rumors. That one fucked me over bad. Yeah, that was fun. You know what it was? This one lady, somebody, I'm not gonna say who, because I have that maturity, but I can say my story, because goddamn it, it's my story, and I can say it, And I do mean that, goddamn it, as in goddamn that. As Edgar Casey once said, and I'm going to loosely quote this too, do not hesitate to tell somebody, go to hell. He said that. And it's true in that sense too. Because Jesus Christ had wrath God had wrath. And motherfucking shit, I do have wrath too. And sometimes you gotta have that. Let me explain to you, actually, let me just cancel all this, and I'm not even gonna talk about that story. Let me tell you something really important, actually. This is probably one of the most important things. This is about healing, this is about emotion, and this is about self-understanding. Now, all of the emotions, every single one, is important. Not only important, but healthy and good to have. There's no bad emotion. And I'm quoting Abraham Hicks. There is no bad emotion. All of the emotions are important. They must all be expressed. As we know in esoterics, tarot, astrology, everything, water is of emotion. Now, what happens to water when it becomes stagnant? It becomes toxic, right? Same with emotion. If you do not express your emotion, it will fester, and it will grow into a darkness within you that will, sooner or later, be expressed. And the universe will come to challenge that. And it will call to it for expression to be made. Now, when that time comes, you do not want a huge backed up dam, river dam of freaking emotion that you have not let express. You do not want that. It will really, really hurt others, hurt yourself, possibly turn you into a murderer, because this is kind of how murders happen, And that's just how evil is, actually. That's what it is. Evil is the ignorance and the denial and the lack of facing our deeper, true emotions. That's what evil is. It's the inauthenticity. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. It's fear-based in essence. Everybody knows this and understands this. But it's important to note that this is how we can go about loving and forgiving and being caring about everybody from an authentic place. Because from here you can see that evil is only caused from suffering itself and from fear itself. So the courageous, through every step of taking the hits, through every step of giving love back, through every step of having faith in somebody when they shouldn't, even if they get hurt, they are being holy. As God is unconditional love, and as they aim to be that, God shines through them more clearly. That's responsibility. As the kahuna is explained, the ancient kahuna way is to take responsibility of the world and of all of existence as you. You can heal other people within yourself. You can talk to the animals as they are you. And you can understand everything through empathy. They could also do some pretty cool powers, supposedly, like they could shoot fireballs and stuff, and hold their breath forever, and transform into the animals, right? Shapeshift, right? Ain't that something? Kahunas. That's so cool. And I grew up in Maui, and these things, they're not even over there. It's not even talked about as though it's like some hibbity jibbity. Over there it's just openly accepted. We all seen shit over there. It's a very spiritual place. I really think that if anybody denies any kind of spiritual thing, go to Hawaii. You will see some trippy ass shit. Live there for a couple years, you will see some trippy ass shit. I mean, trippy ass shit. I remember one time my neighbor, he saw a thing that I did not believe even could exist. There were stories about it, but I guess he's seen it, you know. There was stories about a dog with a man's head, you know, a spirit or something. And, well, you know, fucking one day he's seen it, grown-ass man, bunch of kids. He's seen it. And you don't just say those things if, like, you know, I'm sure some people do, but that's just not Hawaiian style. Anyways, got 15 seconds left, so much love. Aloha oe. Oh yeah, one last shout out, yeah. Shout out to me. Much love, me.